We observe this visit as very, very important. We are talking about the leader of the country that has become the fifth largest economy in the world. It's going to become economy number 4, number 3 soon. Nation that is thriving very in a way that we admire, and it is a country that is becoming one of the most important players in the global stage. So we think that that visit is extremely important for our country and our region. Well, I can assume that the meeting between the two heads of government and heads of state, it will be, those issues will be arise. I don't know exactly. It's not my level, that conversation. But of course, in terms of terrorism, Argentina is a country that has expressed in the strongest way possible very important support to India.
Prime Minister Modi is coming to Argentina. How does Argentina view the significance of Prime Minister Modi's visit in strengthening the strategic partnership with Argentina? How do you look at that?
Well, of course, we observe this visit as very, very important. We are talking about the leader of the country that has become the fifth largest economy in the world. It's going to become economy number 4, number 3 soon. It's the most populated country in the world, and a nation that is thriving very in a way that we admire, and it is a country that is becoming one of the most important players in the global stage. So we think that that visit is extremely important for our country and our region.
What specific outcomes does Argentina hope to achieve from the bilateral talks between President Javier Milei and Prime Minister Modi, particularly in advancing the multifaceted India-Argentina relationship?
Well, as you know, we have been enjoying a friendship relationship between the two countries for 75 years. We had a strategic relationship since 2019, and we have developed a very strong relationship in terms of economy. The economy of Argentina and the economy of India are very complementary. To the day, the trade between our countries is around $5 billion, which for Argentina is a very big number. It's a figure that expresses Argentina's, India is among the first 6 largest partners of Argentina, and we think that a high-level visit and talks between the President of Argentina, Javier Milei, and the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, will be very good to boost those.
Given that you spoke about that India with Argentina, India was Argentina's fifth largest trading partner in 2024 with a bilateral trade of USD 5.23 billion. What new trade and investment opportunities does Argentina anticipate from this visit, especially in the sectors like agriculture, mining, and renewable energy, sir?
Well, in agriculture, we have a very strong relationship. We are number 1 provider of soybean oil, number 3 in terms of sunflower oil. But Argentina is a country that has not only that can not only provide food security to India and to the world, but for example, we have huge reserves of gas, of energy. So there is a proposal on the Argentine side to provide LNG to India. And also there are, as you know, important investments from Indian companies in the north of Argentina regarding lithium. Lithium is becoming very important in the world today, and fortunately we are part of the so-called lithium triangle among other countries like Bolivia or Chile here in this region. So we are working very good, and of course we can enhance that cooperation.
If I may ask that, what agreements are expected during Prime Minister Modi's visit, if you can touch upon that aspect as well?
Well, those agreements have been working for some time from the two sides, are in under study, and I hope we can advance on that and have to give some steps on that. But the fields are those that we are talking about: the economy, agriculture, lithium, energy, nuclear cooperation. As you know, Argentina has built a nuclear reactor for peaceful purposes in Mumbai some years ago. And there are some cooperation unfolding on terms of defense, for example. So we are working on that, and I hope we can make some steps forward in the upcoming days.
Are there plans to discuss the regional and or the global security issues as well, such as counter-terrorism? Because we know what has happened in the past as well. We have been very supportive about the Pahalgam aspect, that India's fight against terrorism as well. You have been quite vocal about it. Will that also be discussed during the bilateral exchanges?
Well, I can assume that the meeting between the two heads of government and heads of state, it will be, those issues will be arise. I don't know exactly. It's not my level, that conversation. But of course, in terms of terrorism, Argentina is a country that has expressed in the strongest way possible very important support to India. Argentina is a country that we suffered terrorism in the past. We had two terrible attacks in 1992 and 1994, one against the Israeli embassy here in Buenos Aires, and the other against the Jewish Community Center in Argentina. Also in Buenos Aires, the two acts combined, we lost more than 100 innocent people. And we know what terrorism is. And President Milei has expressed from the very beginning of his government, and even during the campaign, that he will be strong on counterterrorism, and expressing that terrorism is unacceptable in any form, and that we have to take on account also that those states that promote terrorism or hide terrorism, and we know what we are talking about, and of course we are with India in this case. That's why when this terrible attack happened, took place in April 22, if I'm not wrong, in Kashmir, I think I was among the first ambassadors in India to convey this message, because it is part of our what is going on. Thank you.
How does Argentina view Prime Minister Modi's visit as a part of India's broader outreach to the global south, and what role does Argentina aim to play as a bridge for Indian investments in Latin America, sir?
Well, Argentina, as you know, it's a country that, as India, we belong to the G20. The G20, we observe that platform as the most representative forum in the world today, because it gathers the leaders of the developed countries and the countries that are under a process of development. So we observe that that platform is the most important field in which we can cooperate in this field. Argentina is a country that also, as you know, shares some values with India. We are a democracy as India. We respect human dignity. We believe in freedom. And although we belong to different cultures, because Argentina is a country that belongs to the Western world, and it's a country that we come from a different historical background, let's say. Most of our population is local or came from Italy or from Spain. We're a Latin country. But although those reasons, we share those values, and we can work together in things that need to be addressed from a multilateral point of view. And I think the Prime Minister Modi and President Milei had a meeting last year in the G20 in Brazil in November, if I'm not wrong, and they had a very good approach, so we can continue those talks, and we're very happy to be able to receive Prime Minister Modi in a few days. That's why I flew to Buenos Aires. I came to Buenos Aires at this moment to be here in this visit.
With Argentina's participation in Mercosur, how can the preferential trade agreement with India, effective since 2009, be further enhanced during this visit, according to you?
Well, we hope Mercosur can, let's say, update its position. Mercosur has been created in the mid-80s and early 90s between our four countries, Brazil, Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay. There has been some successes in Mercosur, but there is a common understanding that Mercosur needs to be reform, it needs to open, it needs to connect to the world, and in order to get that and to provide, to deliver to our people, we need to open our economies and we need to open our agreements. So Argentina is a country that has been working in the last time, in the last period, to open and to be able to work with other parts of the world, and especially with Asian countries that are the ones who are developing more. And in this specific case, we are convinced that India is a major player in the world, is a country that is growing more among the great powers, of course. And we are convinced that India has a say, and India has a great future in this sense. So we hope we can work with our partners of Mercosur in order to advance in this field. Mercosur requires the rule of working together, but we are sure that our partners are or will be soon convinced about this. There are some countries that have been working even before us in trying to open the bloc. So we have an optimistic point of view that these things cannot be solved in one day from the other, but maybe in the next future.
This will be the last question. You touched upon the lithium aspect as well. What specific outcomes does Argentina hope to achieve in the critical minerals cooperation, given India's growing demand for resources like lithium to support this green energy transition? So, what are the specific outcomes we can expect from the Argentinian side in this regard?
Well, Argentina is a country that has, Argentina is a country that has almost the size of India. We are the 8th largest country in the world. India is the 7th. In terms of territory, we are not so far away from India. It's a very big country, Argentina. But we have a relatively small population. We are only 50 million people. And while India is 1.4, almost 1.5 billion people. So we have 30 times less population than you in a quite similar territory. So Argentina is a country that has huge natural resources that can be provide food security, energy security, and to the world. And in this case, key players as India are great. So in the case of lithium, of course, we are working while we talk, because there are Indian companies here in the province of Catamarca, for example, a state in the north of Argentina. We had the opportunity of receiving India in Delhi, the governor, which is the equivalent in India to a chief minister, of Catamarca, Raúl Jalil, and they are working very good with Indian companies. So we hope that could be expand and deepen. I think we are working on the good path, and of course this important opportunity of Prime Minister being here. It is the first time in many, I think almost 6 decades, that a Prime Minister of India is coming for bilateral talks with an Argentine government. So I think it's a great achievement by the Indian government and from our side, from the Milei administration, to be able to have that. Since other prime ministers, even Prime Minister Modi, came to Argentina, but for multilateral forums, not for bilateral talks. So since the visit that made late Prime Minister Indira Gandhi in 1968, there was no Prime Minister coming to a bilateral meeting here. So we observe this with a great hope,